Hi everybody, it's Karen Cinnamon from Smashing the Glass. We are at the final, the peak, the summit of the summit, and we are so excited with this final segment. This is a real exclusive. This is amazing. We have got Mindy Weiss, who is, let's face it, right? She doesn't think so, but I'm telling you, she's so modest and amazing, but she really is the most sought after wedding planner on the planet, and she's one of the tribe. She's Jewish too. Who could be better? So we've got Mindy waiting in the wings. I'm about to bring her on. You all went crazy for her 5 minutes with interview a couple of months ago, and this is just even better. She's coming on live. This is your chance to ask Mindy anything. She's so much fun. So ask anything to do with your wedding. She's going to be telling us some amazing wedding ideas, but it really is, hi Lisa, Lisa's joining from London. It really is your chance to ask questions and get them answered live. Come on, what could be better? So Mindy's written books. She is just the biggest wedding industry superstar. She's based out of Beverly Hills. She's now a lifestyle expert with books and product lines and everything going. But when you see her, she's just a dream to have on and talk to, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna bring you on now, Mindy. There you are.
Hey, I'm here.
Do you see us on your screen?
Yes.
Looking fabulous, I have to say. So how
I got dressed for you today. Hi, everyone.
Oh, everyone's so thrilled to see you live. So where shall we start? Tell everyone a little bit about you and what you want to tell everyone about today with amazing ways to personalize your wedding.
Okay, well, I've been in the business about 30 years. I started in the invitation business, and that took me into the party business. And from there, I started branching off into really the things that I was really interested in, like decor and the details and what was going to make my events different than the world's events. Because as you know, there's a lot of us wedding planners out there now.
It's such a saturated market, isn't it?
It's incredibly busy. And as I get older, a little bit older, I want to stay relevant, and that's what us wedding planners have to do. So one of the things that I really push, because when your bride and groom or you bride and grooms out there are getting married, chances are a lot of your friends are also getting married. So you don't want to go to these cookie cutter weddings, because when you show up, you're like, oh God, here we go again. What is going to make your wedding different than anybody else's? And the one thing that you have that they don't have is a different personality and different things that you love. And when people think about you guys, what do they think about? Well, maybe the bride's really funny, or maybe the groom loves wine. So there are certain ways that I love to personalize weddings, and one of them basically is with food, because it's a very big deal when people show up to a wedding and the food is so much better than what they expect. Because, a lot of them don't have high expectations for wedding food. But a great way to personalize it is to add in some of your favorite dishes. So if you and your groom love mac and cheese, okay? Here in California, LA, mac and cheese, for some reason, is a good comfort food. People love it.
Yes.
Or French fries. One of my signature dishes on the tables, if it's the blackest tie wedding or a casual wedding, I always put a basket of French fries on the table. Because not only is it a reality food that everyone, there's nobody that doesn't love French fries, but it also adds conversation to the table. Oh my God, French fries, and you start passing them to people. People start stealing them. So it's a great way to bring everyone back down to who they really are and not uptight or not. Sometimes it's hard to meet people at a wedding. So I just did a wedding, back to my mac and cheese, where we kind of did a wonderful bowl in between every two guests, and it became very family stylish. And people loved it, and we added that to their meal of steak and, you know, the vegetables and stuff, but it personalized it, and people enjoyed what they were eating. So if you have an old family recipe, grandma's, you know, special rice or a great bowl of matzo ball soup. When we did Adam Sandler's wedding, he started the whole meal off with matzo ball soup.
Oh my God, tell us more about Adam Sandler's wedding. Come on.
You know, they've been married. They've lasted. So we can put that in the books. He's still married. I want to say it's about 15 years now, 14, 15 years ago.
He's as funny as he is in the films?
Yes, he was fabulous. You know, he personalized his food as far as, you know, he loves New York. So we had, for appetizers, for cocktail hour, we had a guy, you know, making pastrami and corned beef sandwiches. The desserts were black and white cookies. You know, it was very personalized to what he loved to eat. So that's a really good way to personalize things. And people got a kick out of it too. You know, it causes conversation. Another wedding we did where I said the groom loves wine. Well, we set up for cocktail hour, we set up a wine tasting bar where he had 5 of his favorite wines, and we had a little story there so people can read about this is John's 5 favorite wines. What is your favorite wine? So again, it was conversation. They could try different things. We had an expert behind the table explaining the wines. It was very cool. So that is one great way to personalize your wedding with food. Another great, of course, and it's very trendy now, is social media.
Yes.
Now, I will tell you, I've had a lot of unplugged weddings lately where, you know, the brides and grooms are tired of seeing all these phones up in the air.
It's hard.
You know, and so now there's a compromise where they are not allowing phones during the ceremony, but afterwards they can bring out their cell phones.
Yes.
So that's a good compromise, and sometimes they just don't want them, you know, the whole time. But if they do want them, of course, you can personalize it with your hashtag, your photo booth. You know, if you're into a great football team or a sports team, you can have props in the photo booths. Again, another great way to personalize your photo booth. Since everybody loves photo booths now, what's going to make yours different? So social media, of course, is a really great way to personalize your wedding, even for your wedding website.
Yes.
What pictures are you going to put up there? You know, what story are you going to tell? Are you going to upload it? A lot of people just put a wedding website up and never update it. This is a funny, personalized way to get ready for your wedding and do a nice countdown along the way.
Yes.
Humor, people remember. Seriously. Cheesiness, they don't. You know, they remember it in a bad way. But if it's you and you are cheesy, do it.
Yes.
Because then again, you personalized it. Okay.
Snapchat filters are a thing now as well, aren't they?
The what?
A Snapchat filter where you can actually have your...
Yes, we buy a lot of Snapchat filters, but again, I will say Instagram seems to be more of a thing now.
Yeah.
But you never know. Tomorrow there'll be something else new. So I'm trying to keep up with all of it.
You find that couples literally want to brand their wedding, you know, with a hashtag and the filter. It's about branding.
Completely.
Yeah.
And we are doing a lot of custom monograms, even though I'm over the monogram on the dance floor. Something new.
Yeah.
I still do it if the bride and groom wants it, but I'd like to see some new things around. But for the invitations and for tradition, I love a monogram, but not on the dance floor.
Tell us some fun ways to personalize the dance floor. What would you love to see on the dance floor? Well,
we did one wedding this year in New York, and they came to me when we first started talking that every bride and groom has a priority. It's either going to be food or great music or destination. There's always a priority, and this bride and groom's priority was dancing. They wanted to have a party. They wanted everyone to dance. So literally on the dance floor, we wrote out, "Let's dance." Just those 2 words on the dance floor. Something as simple as that caused a stir. Who knew? You know? because it wasn't formal, yet the wedding was pretty formal. And it was fun, and it just sent the message that we want you to dance. Get up here and dance. We've also matched things from invitations. The border of the dance floor is the border that was on the wedding invitation.
Beautiful.
Certain flowers, certain borders. And then again, you could just have a plain dance floor, and with lighting, you can create so many things, whether it's just a pattern, certain textures on the dance floor, but dance floor literally we have to check off a box on my list of designing because that's how important the dance floors become.
By the way, Mindy has amazing Instagram stories. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you're losing. Follow her on Instagram because I've seen you love showing off some of the dance floor and party elements. And I'm always seeing like bright lights and 80s and roller girls, and it's fun.
Yeah,
it's another part to get creative with, not just the dance floor.
Exactly. And you have to, if you think in your mind, that's what people are staring at. The music and the dance floor for the 4 to 6 hours. So why not make it a great touch to stare at?
We are getting so many comments saying, you've got so many super fans, Mindy. Everyone's just saying, Lisa's saying,
and I appreciate it. Don't think I don't appreciate it and know when I get new followers. I love it.
Robin says, Mindy, we love you, love the Rosewood London girls.
Oh, hi girls.
We've got Cynthia saying, hi Mindy, love you. Hannah, she's amazing. Mandy, this has been all the compliments are coming in.
Thank you.
And we've had one question in that I can just jump to, which is, are photo booths still a thing?
You know, I thought they were going to go away, but I'm not doing one event. Besides weddings, I'm not doing one event without a photo booth.
Oh my God.
Not one. Everybody still wants it. So I'm trying to think, how do we change it up? So I'm looking for different backgrounds and I'm backdrops, and I'm looking for new kinds of props, you know, so as long as they keep wanting, it's my job to figure out, okay, what are we going to do to change this up? They're not going away. Unfortunately, not.
They are great fun, and that little memento from the...
They are. You know what? I shouldn't say unfortunately, because it really adds an activity. They're at every price range. It's a great, instead of a party favor, they get to take home a picture, send it right to their Instagram or their social media. So I do think it's a good thing, and it adds, again, that little bit of humor and reality to the wedding.
And it's the actual instant moment that people want preserved.
Exactly. Exactly.
And what about, you know, when couples are trying to figure out their wedding style? Like, where do you start? What are some great starting points?
Well, usually when we start our first kind of design meeting, I really do ask for their Pinterest board. I really do, because even though they may come to me with 5 different styles, I can go through it and literally pick out one constant style. Yeah. So whether it's a color or whether it's a certain flower that they're totally attracted to, or you have to think of the time of year. I once had a bride who was getting married in the end of November, very cold, but she wanted a beach-themed wedding in a hotel. Now, I had to explain to them that this made no sense because people are going to be dressed warmer no matter what. They were nowhere near a beach. Now, I love the fact that it would personalize it because they love the beach, but there's other ways we could have brought, you know, that in as far as colors and watercolor, you know, drawings on seating cards and everything. So think about the time of year. Think about where you're getting married, because that can bring in your own wedding style.
Yes.
Think about your favorite colors, which of course is very important. This year I'm still coursing a lot of white.
Yeah.
But we're popping in our Pantone color of the year.
Are you a fan of that ultraviolet?
Ultraviolet. You know, my clients love shades of purple.
Oh,
they do. So I have about 3 weddings where we'll be bringing in some purple. I have one main wedding that's going to be fantastic.
We want to be the first to hear about it.
Hold on to your hats. And that will have a little bit of purple in it. But yes, like I'm seeing still a lot of whites and greens, touch of blush. You know, it's my bride's comfort zone, now, as I call it.
Purple's obviously a royal colour, and we all want to know if you've been asked to attend Meghan and Harry's wedding, or are you too modest to say?
Are you kidding? If I was going, I already have the story up of what I was wearing if I was going. No, I have no connections to them, but I'm a big royal.
They're missing out.
Big royal follower. My first wedding, I got married 3 days after Princess Di, and I came to London to see her wedding gifts. You know, I was a huge fan.
We all are.
So I will be watching. I may have a royal party, a royal watch. Yes. I'm thinking about it. So we are big fans over here in California, the royals.
The cutest people. Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
So we've got lots of questions coming in. Marcy's asking, hi Mindy, what new things are you seeing in the way of invitations?
Invitations. Well, I will tell you, 9 out of 10, we are sending emails for the save the dates, which is more than I've ever done before, because I really feel the save the dates can be really the more fun part of the mailing process. But we are doing, because I find my millennials are a little more budget conscious, yes, and they're more ecologically conscious. So I definitely see emailing save the dates. But for the wedding invitations, I'm still seeing a lot of letterpress and engraving. Not so much thermography anymore at all. Most of it is letterpress and engraving on beautiful Italian, lots of cotton-filled paper.
And I saw you at that Italian paper place, and you were having the time of your life. You were like in heaven, weren't you?
So unexpected. My husband loves to sightsee. I love to shop. That was his day. I planned for him. Actually, he had about 3 days when we went to Pompeii too. But that was his day. It was actually a Jewish founding paper company. Just so you know that, that's why we were there. Because it was started by Jews. And the fact that I got to make paper, to me, because I'm a paperholic, it was a wonderful experience. But that type of paper, filled with a lot of cotton and rags and some texture for invitations, hard in feel, a little heavy weighted. You saw our new beautiful stamp. Well, I guess not in England, but in California and in the U.S., we have a new love stamp that is fantastic.
I like the sound of that.
So beautiful. Check it out. Because I love stamps and everything to go along with it. So I'm not seeing fun invitations, goofy invitations. I'm seeing classic invitations that when you look back on them in 20 years, you will not be embarrassed.
I love that. And Rabbi Andrea Frank, she's based in New York, she's saying, Mindy, when you have a Jewish or Jewish wedding,
right?
Do you guide your couples to continue the Jewish or Jewish theme in their wedding receptions, i.e. foods and rituals? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. You know, I was really excited. The wedding I did in New York actually was at a synagogue. I don't have a lot of opportunities to do the ceremonies in a synagogue. It was not only heartfelt, we couldn't get the handheld chuppah exactly right, so you know it made me nervous when they went up there and put them in the containers.
Yes.
But that already had a lot of the Jewish deliciousness in it. Afterwards, you know, when we go to the party, we have our hora, you know, always have the hora. Even with the millennials who are like, think they're too hip for the hora, I get them to do it. And of course, everyone, Jewish, not Jewish.
Well, they consider not doing it, and you say,
I have my African American athletes who love to do a hora, okay? And I am not kidding. You know, love it. And anyone who comes in that's not Jewish, who calls the chuppah a chuppah, they all want a chuppah.
A chuppah.
You know, and I go, it's a chuppah, and we'll call it a gazebo for you. And but they, you know, it's such a great tradition, and people love that tradition. I've even had non-Jews breaking glass because they think it's so cool.
Wait,
you know, it can mean so many things.
What do you think of this? This is our
mean
new smash pouch for smashing the glass that we've
I
just
love
used.
that.
Can you see that?
Very
That's
cute.
it.
Yes.
Little pink lining inside for smashing the glass.
Where is that? Do you sell that?
So these are part of we've just launched a club called VIB, a club for very important brides. It's like a members club for smashing the glass.
Yeah.
And they get this if they become a member. So it's a cool thing.
Darling.
We just felt like enough with the velvet pouches and the napkins and the foil and the glass flying everywhere and, you know, millennials.
Millennials, for sure. And it's easy for wedding planners to come pick that up.
Yes.
Because we are responsible for getting it. And I can't tell you how many times we've gotten little cuts on our hands trying to pick up.
Oh, yeah. And I had a photographer, a glass was just wrapped in a napkin and the shard just kind of flew into her leg as she was.
Oh, yeah.
There's also
I've only had one groom that has hurt himself, though, so I've been very lucky. And also another trend for my rabbi question is I did 2 weddings last year where the bride and the groom broke a glass.
Yeah.
Now, that was new.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I had never had that before or asked. I haven't had anyone ask me for it. So that was new too.
It's wonderful the way we're keeping these fabulous centuries-old traditions but making them our own. I think that's fabulous.
Absolutely. And then when I have a mixed marriage, we do the glass and the unity candle. So we represent.
Lovely.
And I always think when you have a mixed marriage like that mixed religious marriage like that it's nice to have a program explaining the traditions. You know, what is a chuppah? What is a unity candle? Why? What does it mean? So people really take home some knowledge, and I think it's cool.
We like kind of suggesting that people have fun with their wedding programs when there's going to be kind of 2 different faiths and no one really knows what's happening. And you make that fun as well. And it's not just about describing the traditions, but
I agree.
There's so many elements.
Awesome. Yes.
And what about destination weddings? We're getting questions about, we've seen a lot of Italy in the last few years. Robin's asking, but we're interested to know what the next hotspot is for destination.
Well, this year I'm going to Italy twice. I have gotten in the past month 2 inquiries about Mallorca.
Mallorca, I love Mallorca. I know Mallorca quite well.
Yeah, and I've never been there, so I must go because obviously it's very popular right now and people are interested in it.
Easy to fly into as well.
Yes, but mostly Europe, mostly Italy, because all my wedding planner friends are booking a lot of Italy. So we're not done with Italy yet. You know, when in California, this side, we go to Hawaii. We do a lot in Cabo, Mexico.
Sure.
Cabo San Lucas is every year more beautiful hotels. So I'm doing 2 in Mexico this year. So I will tell you that every wedding lately is a destination wedding.
And tell me
that is not going away. That is only building and building, which is so interesting to me because of the cost.
And tell me where in Italy is hot in particular?
Lake Como.
Yeah.
Venice is becoming. People never ask me about Venice, and now people, especially millennials, are patient with the boats, and they think that's cool. That's part of the experience. That is awesome. Of course, Tuscany, you know, is a big ask all the time. So, you know, those are the drugs of choice right now in Italy. And
Florence,
I think those are our mains. Florence is amazing. I have not done a wedding in Florence, and that is one of my favorite cities. So you never know.
We've featured some fabulous destination weddings in Florence on Smashing the Garden.
Yes.
They've got the most incredible synagogue in Florence. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
I don't
So
think
listen, all your London fans are just come to London, Mindy. We need to hear.
I was there 2 years ago during Christmas because
Oh.
my son is insane about Tottenham, football team. He wakes up at 5 in the morning, puts on his jersey, even in New York. He has to wear his jersey while he's, and I didn't realize how hard it was to get tickets, but I worked my magic, sent him and my husband to the game. Best experience ever. So
Well,
we will be back.
They played a match tonight. Claire's husband, I think, who is it, and they won 2-0.
Oh! I can't believe he didn't text me. There we go. Yeah.
Well,
So,
we'll take you to
it's very
Tottenham.
much in our hearts. And we had, when we were there, it snowed, which I didn't know it snowed in London. But we had a fabulous time. I was kind of dreading the trip because it was forced upon me. But it ended up being really fabulous. We visited many synagogues, and we had a wonderful experience.
Oh, well, we would
But
love
we didn't
to.
know each other yet.
I know. Well, there's plenty years ahead. We'll do it. We'll
Yes.
get there. We'll get there. So we are going sidetracked by all these questions, but tell us about a couple of other fun things you've seen. Like alcohol is a good one that people don't think about, right?
Exactly. You know, we're not doing so much naming the drinks anymore as much as it's their favorite drinks. So we literally take a section of the bar and we serve the bride and groom's favorite drinks. They're kind of going back to these old-fashioned drinks, you know, Johnny Walker and,
Yes.
you know, of course, a lot of tequila. That's here to stay. It's really interrupted our budgets lately because
Negroni.
that is not at a compromise at
Negroni.
all. Yes. So a lot of tequila, but, you know, we still make a big deal out of their favorite drinks. Even after the ceremony, that's on 2 trays, his and hers. And then when they go into the cocktail area, there is a theirs. So if together, they may have a favorite drink. So that's kind of cool, too, if it's the same.
And I've just got to jump in with a question. We're not going to keep you too much longer. You've already given us a good 30 minutes of your precious time, so we're going to close it soon. But I just want to say, where would you get married? To obviously the same husband, but where would you get married?
Same husband. He's my second husband. We've been together 24 years. And my junior high school crush.
Wow.
And he saved every love letter since 7th grade. He didn't like girls in 7th grade just yet, but I was all over him.
Oh.
Anyways, where would I get married? Well, sadly to say, Montecito, California, no, they just had the horrible mudslides.
Yes.
But they will be back. Everything's closed down there, but Montecito, which is not an airplane away, Montecito is where my heart is. And I don't know why. I can just tell you when I get off the highway, there something happens. And there's magic in this little town in Montecito. So
That's where your heart
that is where not Ravello, not Amalfi Coast, not Montecito, California is where my heart is.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So if everyone leaves today with just one top tip on how to personalize your wedding, what can we leave them with that's their big takeaway from today?
Besides all the stuff, you know, because you guys could come up with all the stuff. What really will personalize your wedding is if you go into this wedding having the time of your life. I find if the bride and groom are out on the dance floor and they don't separate during the evening, stick together, meet people together, walk around the tables together, laugh, the joy in their heart that they made it down the aisle to that I do, that alone will personalize your wedding because they will leave not only saying, oh my God, that wedding was so John and Susan. They'll say, oh, they're so in love. And that you may rekindle other people's love and hope that they can find that kind of love. So that is my favorite way of personalizing a wedding
I love that.
is just the mush. You can't buy it. You can't pay for that. You can pay for a lot of personalization, but you can't pay for the mush.
Yes,
so that's what
fabulous advice, and something that's often overlooked. We're so busy.
Yes, and if I see my bride and grooms aren't mushy, it's more work for me.
Mindy, we could literally chat for hours. This has just been so much
fun.
And
thank you for having me
again. Maybe you'll come and talk to our VIBs, our very important brides, about a topic.
Whatever you'd like, I'm there for
Mindy,
you.
You're fabulous. Well, we'll be in touch very, very soon.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Good night over there.
Good night. I'm going to close you off on Skype, Mindy, and I'm just going to carry on talking a little bit on the live. But thank you again. You've been fabulous, and I'll be in touch with Paige very soon.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, I'm going to carry on. We're still live. Let me just get back on screen. So yeah, this is it now. It's the end of the summit, and we've been going for 5.5 hours. We have had the best time. Thank you everyone for all your comments and your likes and your loves and your shares, and it's been such an amazing experience for me, and I know for everyone involved. And I want to say a huge thank you to Claire, who's been working solidly the whole time, making it all happen, and my husband Jeremy, who's also, none of them want to come around the camera. Thank you, and make sure that you check out that link just above so that you can become a VIB. We've got so much good stuff for you inside the VIB club, as well as this incredible Smash Pouch, very limited edition. We're only making them in certain amounts, so make sure you grab one of those. Just so much good stuff that you can see here. Everything's in the link, so I won't go over it now, but there is that special launch price, so make sure you catch that at the launch price before it goes. It will never be repeated, that price. And that's the price in pounds. So, and if you've got any questions about VIB or how it works, you can pop us an email, vib@smashingtheglass.com. But it's really, really exciting. And thanks everyone so much. And my brother, I'm biased, but Karen, you were fab, and the summit was amazing. Oh, that means so much, Andre. Thank you. Andre's playing his own part in the VIB club as well. That's all I'll say. My brother. And thank you, a huge thank you to Lisa Johnson, who's watching, she's just been a huge part of this VIB club as well, and still is. And thank you, Lisa. So that's it. We're going to close up. We've done 5.5 hours worth of content, and it's been incredible. We're going to put it all together for you and send it out if you missed any of the bits. And definitely check out that link. And we want everyone inside the VIB club. So that's it. Good night.